Thank you for showing up, guys. Welcome to Late Nights with Sabr. Today's guest is very special because I left him hanging last time. I had booked him and then I booked somebody else. So thankfully, the guy was really dope and I really appreciate that. We have Ron Bear, IPS. I knew IPS was going to be on this stream, and then Clint Eastwood, Bitplum. Shout out to Bitplum, Night Customs, Kurt 24. We got Fiber Goth. Thank you for coming. And we got Vanessa Kitty and V VV Luminous, CT and Dodgenado. There we go. All right, guys, we're about to start. Thank you for joining me once again. And today's guest is the one, the only, Mr. SwarmTech Design.
How you doing, brother?
How you doing, bro? I'm doing all right. I was just eating and stuff before we started the show. How's your day, bro? Okay, so I know people are gonna be like, "What the hell is this man doing?" This man travels around and has expeditions where he looks for the prettiest feet, and that's how he gets paid through OnlyFans. No, I'm joking, allegedly.
Allegedly, that's fair.
All right, bro. So for the people that don't know you, go ahead and introduce yourself. All your stuff is on my description. So if you guys want to know more about him, all his stuff is linked below. Go ahead, bro. Take it away.
Yeah. So I'm SwarmTech. Government name is Trevor Leahy. If you guys didn't know, I'm just a regular average dude. I got a smoking hot wife. One time I won a national championship in shooting, and other than that, I dropped guns for like 8 years. So I don't know shit about guns. And then I designed a bunch of them, and people keep like making them and shooting them, and it blows my mind. I did the Scarab. I have a lever gun that will eventually come out. I promise. Allegedly. And then I got like a pump action. I got an underbarrel grenade, or excuse me, signal launcher. And I do a lot of work with the Out of Battery Boys. I'm one of the hosts for those guys. And yeah, man, I'm just stoked to be living in the golden age of GunCAD.
All right, man. That's cool, bro. That's like the best introduction I've had in this show. So from now on, make sure you guys step up your damn introduction because this man is numero uno. All right, bro. So I have a question for you. Damn, I got dirty. I have a question for you. Did your family grow up like 2A, bro? Like, were you raised around raised? Fuck, I'm retarded today. Raised around guns and gun culture, or not really?
Yeah, so not at all. My dad had a Ruger P89D that I shot like for the first time when I was maybe 15, and that was not the first gun I shot. I have a bunch of military in my family, so back in the very early days of my life, I got really obsessed with the book. What is it? 97 confirmed kills about Gunnery Sergeant Carlos Hathcock Jr., sniper in Vietnam. Dude was awesome. And at that point on, I desperately wanted to join the Marines. Like I was stoked. So I figured out like how can I go do some kind of shooting? Well, shit, I'm only like 11. Okay, I'll try doing like competition shooting, right? So I started doing Olympic style 22s. At that point, everyone in my family was kind of like, "Why are you doing this?" I was like, it's fun. Just like drive me there and help pay for it and stuff. And they're like, "All right, cool." And I shot competitively till I was 18, 19, won a couple national championships, and then didn't touch guns again for a very long time. And since then, pretty much my dad's the only one who's kind of gotten into it. I got him to get a printer, taught him how to build and print his own AR lower, which is pretty sweet. He
What?
built his
Wait,
own
wait,
Glock
wait, wait,
recently.
wait. Hold on. Repeat that again, bro. Rewind that shit. What did you?
Yeah. So my dad was he was telling me I'm gonna get my door kicked and I'm gonna get my family killed. I need to stop doing this. And then I kept showing him pictures of all the cool shit that I was seeing. I'm like, Dad, gotta get a printer. You can make some incredible stuff. And then I showed him a couple of pictures of some of the fancy Glocks that people are doing, like Chairman Stipples, that kind of thing. And he was like, okay, yeah, I want one. As soon as I like brought it, put it in his hand, he was sold. So he got himself a printer. He did himself an AR lower.
Yo, that's dope, bro. Shout out to your dad, but shout out to you for like convincing him, bro.
Oh, it was a fight.
Damn.
He still tells me all the time that I'm gonna get my door kicked and get like murdered. So uh, I hope he's not right, but nah, he's a cool dude.
I think that's the same thing that happens with IPS. His grandma and his grandpa tell him that all the time. I think for
Yep.
a while they were telling them that, and it might happen, bro. It just happened to somebody. I mean, I don't know if they got their door kicked, but he was in the show last time, so you guys know about that. So pretty much you kind of were on and off with the guns. You took a break, right?
Yeah, I was a broke college student. I bought myself a Glock 17 for my 21st birthday. I bought myself a 10/22 when I was in college. And I like screwed around with them. I had a buddy that had a shotgun, and we did the normal stuff like cutting down trees with buckshot and stuff like that. But it wasn't like it's seriously being into the hobby or anything like that. And
So
then
that's what I was gonna ask you, right? What was your first purchase, like legally, right?
Yeah, so my first purchase was a Savage Mark II and 22 long rifle. That was my first competition gun. I won my first 4 or 5 state championships with that gun. Just put some aftermarket apertures on it, and really fantastic gun. Got the bull barrel. I think the only reason someone would kick in Swarm's door is to get the. I can't read that on my screen. What does
He
that say?
said that he thinks that the only reason someone would kick your door in is to get the
But
Locust
that's
files released.
it might be like what you have to do at this point. No, well, I'm sure we'll get into that. But yeah, no, my first purchase was a competition 22, and that's the least sexy gun that I can think of because it is literally just a black stick with a cheek riser and some peep sights. It's
Damn.
not fancy.
Okay. And then from there on, how did you start hearing about 3D, bro? Like how did you get into it? What happened with it?
Yeah, so I saw a couple of things that Cody Wilson was doing. I'd heard about the Liberator, and I thought at the time, like, oh, that's kind of neat. And then there was another video I saw where he was shooting the AR lower that he did, and it had the mags. And there's this one particular scene where they're going out to lunch after they had just shot the AR lower and the printed mags that they'd done. And someone asked Cody, "What does that taste like?" And he said, "Tastes like Dianne Feinstein's lunch." And I didn't understand that at the time because I wasn't into gun politics or any of that. And I was like, that's objectively funny. Like, okay, I want to learn some more. And I was following a couple of dudes that they were talking about it. And there was one guy that was like selling pre built Ender 3s and would provide support, teach you what to do, all that kind of stuff. And
Damn.
I got
That's
kind of
dope.
I got kind of hammered and I ended up purchasing one, and the rest is history.
Yo, bro, that can. I mean, at least you got an excuse for the wife, right? Like, hey, I didn't know what it was, in case you couldn't figure it out. You know what I mean? So,
She actually didn't find it was in the basement for like probably 2 weeks, and she had no idea because she never goes down in the basement. My wife has a horrible fear of spiders,
yeah,
and I came upstairs and I had a pistol frame. And she's like, "Did you buy that?" I was like,
bro,
no."
bro,
And then I showed her.
you did it on purpose, bro. That's why you put it there, huh? You knew she wasn't gonna go in there, bro.
I mean,
Allegedly, allegedly.
allegedly, yeah,
All right, bro. And then I know that I always see you cooking, right? Do you
yeah,
enjoy cooking, bro?
dude, I love it. I work in a I'm legally a medical scientist, right? I do a lot of stuff with a field where if you're getting creative, you're probably hurting people. And for a really long time, the only like creative outlet I really had was cooking. So I got really into I like dedicated every year from 2017 to now to trying to master different like regions cuisines, right? And I've definitely never mastered them, but they're good enough now that like when I feed other people they tend to say like, yeah, that's pretty good. And for me, that feels great.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
for sure.
love cooking.
Okay, bro. And then I want to ask, uh, let's talk a little bit about the locust, right? It's locust, right? That's how you pronounce it.
Yeah. Yep.
Let's talk a little bit about it because I remember when I saw it. I think it was on Twitter, right? I saw it on Twitter first, and we got a little tease of it, and it was dope, bro. Everybody wanted it. What's the situation with that, and how did that idea come up?
Yeah. So it came up because I was well, I bought a cowboy revolver, right? So I bought one of the Heritage Barkeeps because I wanted a cowboy gun. I wanted to do some cowboy shit, and it was like 100 some bucks. So I was like, all right, whatever. Yeah, send it. And while they were filling out the paperwork, the clerk was like, "Hey, can I get you anything else?" And I was like, "Well, got any lever guns back there?" And he brings out a just pristine, like he took it out of the packaging for the first time, Henry Golden Boy.
Yeah.
And I like worked the lever a couple of times. I'm like, yeah, no, this I want this.
Yeah.
And this is kind of embarrassing, but I told him, yeah, let's buy it. We purchased it. He handed me the receipt. We were still waiting for the background checks to go through. I was looking at the receipt, and it was like $700 or something like that.
What?
And I'm thinking to myself, like, shit, I'm gonna be getting married in a couple of months. If my wife sees
Damn.
this, I might not be getting married in a couple of months. So I asked him if he could return it, and he did all the paperwork, and he was totally cool about it. So shout out to that dude. He was super nice about it, but I gave it back. I didn't end up actually taking it home. And that was the point at which I was like, okay, I need a lever gun. I'm not going to spend money on it.
You were a smart dude, bro. Like you for reals, bro. Because look, anybody would have said like, I could make that money back. This and that. She won't find out. But you actually thought about your wife, bro, and you getting married, and how that could have either been money spent that you could have used for the wedding, or you could have been selfish, bro. So shout out to you for that, bro.
If we're being completely honest, it wasn't because I wanted to spend it on the wedding. It was because I wanted to spend it on the honeymoon. If anybody's out there like looking to get married, spend your money on the honeymoon.
There
Don't
we
fuck
go.
around with the wedding. No one
Nah,
cares about the wedding.
don't, because you know what? You're gonna feed all these people, and then when they go home, people are gonna be like, "How did you like the wedding? Oh, the food had too much salt. Oh, the music wasn't good enough. Oh, this and that." So it don't matter. You know what I mean? Give them some McDonald's shit.
Yep. No, we did barbecue in my dad's backyard. Had like 20 people. We built the altar thing ourselves. It was cheap as shit. And then we went on a 4 week or a 2 week vacation. Like it is the only way to do it.
Exactly, bro. I think that's the best way to do it. Because you guys are gonna have fun. You guys are gonna relax, and it's gonna be dope. But big weddings, honestly, to me, I think big weddings are a waste of time. Just having the people around you that you're cool with, maybe some friends. That's how it should be. But everybody has their own opinion, right? Okay, man. And so then that's how you created the locust. Sorry, because I interrupted you.
No, no, you're good. You're good. After that point, I sat down and I designed four different action types three different action types that I thought were novel, but apparently other people had tried. I had one with like gears in it. I had one that was some weird homebrew with pieces of metal that I was planning on just like drilling and pinning together that just absolutely didn't work out. And then I just thought, well, okay, let's go back to what I was really thinking of originally. Looked at the Henry action. I saw like a little video someone had on YouTube from I think it's World of Guns or whatever, where it's the gun disassembly game, right? And
Yeah.
I was looking at that and I was like, oh, okay, that's how that's supposed to work. And then I just kind of freehanded it in CAD, and it worked out pretty well. And got to a point where I had fired it. It was a lot of fun, and then my wedding was coming up. So actually, the night before my wedding is when I cut together the trailer that everyone saw with
Oh,
like Coulter Wall and all that, and
yeah.
I released that at like 1 or 2 in the morning on my wedding day,
What?
which I thought was kind of cool. Like that was my present to myself and to
Yep.
everyone else. And now at this point, we're waiting on a couple of things. I have some fantastic alpha testers, but life has gotten in the way for some of them. I haven't been as engaged as I should have been for some of it. And now that the Michigan meetup is over, I can actually focus on that project and then the others that I've got going on too.
Okay, cool. So let's talk about what how long have you been in the community again? Because I didn't hear that.
Yeah,
Or
I've been, I think about 2 years and some change, something like that.
okay, so
So
let's talk about that, right? So you've been in it for about like 2 years. Probably started around COVID time or no?
yeah,
Before?
just
Yeah, right.
about.
Okay. when you started doing this, did you ever realize that we would be at the point that we are at this moment where everybody's concentrating on launchers, everybody's concentrating on different designs, building stuff from the bottom all the way to the top, making stuff almost a lot of these projects are you're able to actually do the stuff at home, or did you think it was gonna take longer?
Yeah. So I 100% knew that we were going to be doing some truly groundbreaking shit. Many the oven. Yes. Um, No, so I knew that we were going to be doing amazing stuff. I never would have predicted launchers. I didn't even know they were a thing for civilians. Like I said, I'm not a gun guy. I don't know a lot about guns, but
Yeah,
I knew that we were going to be doing incredible stuff because what I saw. So I started out with DD2, and then when Keybase went down, went to Are We Cool Yet? Meeting and talking with the people that were in those groups. Um, these people have just this artist vibe about them, and if you've ever worked with or talked with artist collectives where you have people that are really creative and they're just talking about the work that they're passionate about, the shit that they create is just mind blowing, absolutely fantastic. So I knew we were going to do awesome stuff. I never would have predicted the launchers. I didn't know when we would get to the point that we're at now, but I did immediately have the feeling that I'm jumping in like right in the golden years. People always talk about you don't know when your best years were until they're past you, but like I have a keen sense of right now are the golden years, you know. So we're doing amazing stuff, and I'm fucking stoked, dude. I'm real stoked.
yeah, bro. I mean, I'm happy that you guys are doing so much, right? Also, for those that don't know, you're also part of Out of Battery. Explain to me, how did that happen? Like, how did you get to be part of it? Were you stoked? Just let me know, like, the whole feeling around it.
Yeah, absolutely. So right off the bat, I'm gonna go ahead and shill our shirts real quick. These are dope. I got a lot of weird looks in the airport. I wouldn't recommend wearing them in the airport, but they're dope.
Yeah,
Uh, so no, Out of Battery was a really cool experiment, kind of. That initially it was Bitplum and Cape, right? So Cape Kobe Rabodi, they were talking to each other, and they're like, "We want to do a live show." I was friends with Bit. I was talking with him, and as soon as he said, "Hey, I'm thinking about this," I told him probably 100 times, "Hey, man, I want in. I want in. I want in." And they brought on Zero Fucks, and then he's like, "Hey, we want to bring you on too as one of the hosts." And I was like, "All right, sweet. Like, let's do this." And we were completely disorganized. We had no idea what the fuck we were doing.
yeah,
The first couple episodes, people were watching and they're making comments like, "It's been quiet for like 30 seconds now," and it's like, "Yeah, we don't know what we're doing." But then we started getting our shit together. We started talking to really incredible, just fantastic people that I can't say enough good things about. We've gotten sharper. We've been having more fun with it. We've gone out and done fun, exciting stuff. Like this is now a hobby that I have traveled across the country 5, 6 times for, something like that.
yeah.
I got to lift weights with Cody Wilson.
Yeah, I saw
Like,
that, bro.
dude, that was
You were putting in
insane.
work, bro.
Yep,
I like
yep.
your short shorts too, bro. They were sexy as fuck, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
I
Nah,
appreciate that.
but okay, so that's what I was gonna ask you actually about the Cody experience, right?
Yeah.
Um, do you think that that's one of your like favorite experiences, or which is your favorite experience without a battery?
Yeah. So it's at this point, it's definitely a toss up. The trip to Austin was amazing. That was probably one of the coolest and most focused, the strongest attempt at being professionals at something you're not a professional at, for a group of guys who are doing it because they're passionate about it.
Yeah,
And then the other thing that was cool about it is it's in Texas. My brother lives in San Antonio. Been down to that area a ton of times. I knew Austin, I knew San Antonio, loved the cities. Cody Wilson was like a hero of mine. So getting the chance to go down, meet him, see the shop, that was just fantastic. Absolutely loved that. The boys came together, and you would not believe the work that went into that. If you look at any of the behind the scenes stuff, and you're looking like what the tech guys are doing, so
yeah, bro.
Justin, Danny, Bitplum, they it was a full on professional camera setup when we did that episode, and I felt kind of like a useless fart just sitting there at the end of the table, like, okay, I guess I'll be part of the interview here. But it was a hoot, dude. It was an absolute blast. And then we had like a gamer house kind of party afterwards where we had a bunch of people who were local come out. We had some drinks, we had some pizza. It was just like it was a pizza party. Honestly, we had an out of battery pizza party in Austin, and it was incredible. Um, and when I try to compare that with the other thing that I said was the number two or number one, I'm not sure, the Michigan meetup thing. That was an extension of the gunmakers match. So I went to both the gunmaker matches. I competed in the first one. I won rifle, which doesn't actually mean anything because nobody's guns were sighted in. Mine just didn't break. That's all that really meant. But after the first one, I was like, I want to have something like this in Michigan. So I'm from Michigan. I'm from like the Midwest area. I really desperately wanted to make something like that happen. And eventually I got to a point where I was just like, fuck it, I'm just gonna have to set it up myself because nobody was setting up any of these unsanctioned or like not related to any large organization kind of events.
Yeah.
So I was putting in the legwork. I was talking with Bit. Shout out to Bitplum. He kept me from turning it into a Rob Pincus show. So um, we had an absolute blast. We had just about 30 people come out to the middle of absolute nowhere, Michigan, to a haunted cult mansion. And I'm not saying that as a joke. It was legitimately a haunted cult mansion. Like the carpets had blood stains on them.
What?
None of the furniture was from like this millennia. It was weird, and we did some like awesome cult shit.
No.
We burned an oven. We had like a whole like devil ritual and stuff. And when you guys get to see this, we're making some content for it, so you guys can live vicariously through us. It was unreal. So trying to, yeah, the oven. Anytime you see people posting the oven, they know they were
Yeah.
there.
Bro,
And
I would have taken shrooms and been there. That would have been dope. I bet you anything, bro, in that haunted occult mansion on shrooms or maybe on acid, everybody just busting Charles Manson, that would have been insane, bro.
you wouldn't even need it, dude. Just the energy of all of the people that were there, just the coolest, nicest people that I've ever interacted with. You wouldn't need anything, and if you added a little something to the mix, you would have had a party. Like, dude, it was cool. It was real cool.
Somebody's asking, what about the virgin sacrifice? Hold on, bro. I'm gonna close my door real quick.
When's the virgin sacrifice? That's a really great question. We had a person who lost a sword fight that would probably be a fantastic virgin, and I know Sabar is not here to hear this right now, but
Yeah,
if that particular sword fight loser chooses to be sacrificed, he'd be a great candidate.
yeah,
No,
bro.
I'm just kidding. There was a wooden sword fight at Michigan, as I was talking about.
Nah,
Yeah,
sorry. It's cause if like they leave the door open, the dog goes out, and my dog's old already, bro.
for
So he
sure.
just barks at anything anymore. Like whatever attention he gets, he just barks at whatever passes by. All right, man. So it sounds like you guys had a dope time in Michigan. How was setting that event up, bro? Like, was it kind of stressful for you? Was that the first event that was that the first event? Was that the first event you set up that had to do with Guncat?
Yeah, it was. So, yes, it absolutely was stressful. Oh, while he's gone, I'm going to say this really quickly because I know Parker's probably going to end up watching this. I hate the Antichrist. That's we have to get that in there somewhere. Out of battery
Yeah,
fans will know that phrase pretty well. But no, I would say the experience of setting it up was definitely stressful. I've never really planned like a big event besides my wedding, and my amazing wife took care of most of that, so I wasn't involved for how all that worked. Um, it was an experience in like rolling with the punches because the whole idea started when I found 1,000 rounds of 9 mil for like 200 bucks, and I was like, we need to just go burn down a gun. Like we need to do 1,000 round crucible and just put 1,000 rounds of nine through something. I was talking to Bit and I was like, hey dude, do you want to come out, fly out
yeah,
to Michigan? We'll make some content. It'll be fun. And he was like, yeah. And then he was saying we should turn this into a gamer house, and I was like, fuck yeah, we should. Like, yeah, let's do it. And we were talking to some of the guys in our Wikilia, and we're like, hey, do you guys want to come just like hang out in Michigan? We're gonna do some shooting, something like that. And they're like, yeah, that sounds great. We had probably like 6 people initially. We found this super cute little beach house in the town of Lexington, Michigan, right on Lake Huron, and it was gonna be this like quaint little weekend. And then it just exploded. We went from like 8 people to like 20 something people, and I was panicking because the Airbnb said, if you have anybody more than like 12 people, we're going to kick you out. I was like, okay, we need to find something. And the only place that was left was a haunted cult mansion.
Damn.
So it was changing the logistics so that we could figure that out. Part of it was the place that we were shooting at, the land itself really needed some work. So we put in some honestly pretty solid hours of manual labor getting the land prepared, knocking down weeds, taking care of trash, setting up targets, like all that kind of stuff. Then, like the actual there at the event, there's always like little things that go into making events like that successful. You got to make sure that people are fed. You got to make sure the food's decent. You got to have like an idea of a schedule. You got to be able to answer questions when people have them. Got to be organized. Got to give people details, all that kind of stuff, and it was a fantastic experience. I learned a ton. The next one of these things that I set up is going to be much better, and it's going to be a
But
whole
wait,
lot smoother. But
so you're gonna do more now? Like you enjoyed
oh,
that, and now you're gonna keep going, bro?
hell yeah! My wife's going to be pissed because she's not going to like how much money that we ended up spending. But like, it's fine. It'll work out. It all got made square in the end, allegedly. So it's fine.
All right. So I have a question, bro.
Yeah.
And this is a little bit more personal, right? But
Oh,
what I'm trying to do with these episodes is try to get a little bit more personal, try to actually get to really know who the person is, right?
for sure.
Um, when you started doing the 2A stuff, especially the 3D stuff, people think it's not time consuming, but it is, especially in the beginning when you're learning. Especially if you're part of dev teams, if you're testing betas, stuff like that, right? Your
Yep.
time goes a lot into the community, and that's why we have the dope stuff we have, because a lot of us spend time on this. Uh, did you have issues with your wife? How was that? Like, was your wife kind of irritated at first, and how is it now? Go
Yeah.
ahead.
I honestly, I was like 99% convinced that she was going to leave me. So I have really terrible ADHD, and I'm also a little bit retarded. So when you combine those two things, I don't really have a great sense of like, maybe I should put this down for a little while.
Yeah.
And absolutely terrible at time management. I didn't take enough time for my relationship. I didn't take enough time to hang out with my wife, and that was honestly like, on the one hand, I don't regret it because I learned a lot and I've grown a ton from that experience. And on the other hand, it definitely forced us to grow and become better at communication in a way that maybe could have been less painful had I been more attentive.
Mhm.
I do think that it's gotten a lot better now. She is starting to get more involved. She's working with a couple of people. She does like graphic design kind of stuff. So she's working with people to design like some shirts and some, she's doing websites, all kinds of stuff for people. So she's getting more involved in the community.
Eh,
Um, I took her shooting for the first time in like 2 years, like 3 weekends ago or something like that, and that was dope. So we're both starting to get back it or get together on it, but it didn't start that way, and it took a while to get there. It was tough.
okay, so first of all, Fibergoth is saying, teach Mrs. Swarm to print and get her to shoot with us. That would be
Yeah,
dope, bro. Do you think that's like your next step? Are you trying to get her into the printing world?
I would love to, but I don't think she'll ever do it because my workshop's set up in my basement, and she's still deathly afraid of spiders. So
Oh, you're right. You're right.
she's not gonna walk down there. She didn't go down there to do laundry. I have to take the laundry up and
She's
downstairs.
good.
God bless her.
So
She'll fold it, but she won't put it in the machine because there's spiders down there.
so how about if we like call somebody to kill all the spiders, bro?
I mean, like if y'all want to do that, I'm not gonna say no, but
But you're still not gonna go, huh? Because it's all like the area and stuff like that.
yeah, yeah, no. She, what I would really love to do. So she is one of the most talented, like physical and digital artists that I've ever met. She is incredible. So I would really love to get to a point where I take my designs, print them out, and then have her do something cool with them as far as like painting goes or coatings, work on like aesthetic and color choices, that kind of
Yes.
stuff. Because
Yeah.
she would definitely vibe with that, and she'd do a great job with it too.
Yeah,
That
bro.
I think is going to be the way.
And special, and even not just that, even if she does a setup for like the backgrounds and stuff like that, for your social media, that would be dope. But I mean, I'm glad that you and your wife are actually getting involved, even her just getting involved with the logos and shirts and stuff like that. That's still an involvement in the community, um, even if it's not printing, but it's just helping you guys now have a bond and bond over the same hobby that you guys like. Um, all right, man, I have a question for you. And this one, you could answer it. This is your personal opinion, right? Everybody has a personal opinion. But at the moment, if you could change anything about the 2A 3D community, what would you change?
Ooh, that's a good question. If I could change anything about GunCAD, what would I change? I think that I would encourage people who have been doing the hobby for a longer time to, or I guess for the community as a whole, to really discourage file goblins and the people who just show up to rooms or to places and say, "Hey, give me the files." I would love to see. Like I would love to see us as a community take these new guys who want to get involved, who want to build stuff, and say, "Hey, like, yeah, you can absolutely just find the files if you want, but come talk with us. Come figure out what you actually want. Like, learn how to do some kind of CAD so that if you want to make something custom, you can. Or talk to the guys who are really talented with graphic design videos. Get involved with making the release trailers that people do." We need technical writers so badly because I like designing shit, but I hate writing documentation for it. Um, I would just really, really encourage people to discourage the file goblins and push them to do like more productive stuff and to actually get involved
Yeah,
instead of just like and running, you know?
yeah, bro. Like people coming in, when is this file ready? Is it ready? Or you know what? Discouraging people from going and being spies, because there's people that go into these betas and are spies, bro. They're just going to see what they see and then going to report it. Come on, don't do that. This is not no damn Cold War, right? That Cold War finished. We don't need no damn spies. That's
Yeah.
coming from me.
Oh,
Um,
for sure.
all right, man. Let's talk about something. And what project are you looking forward to at this moment, right now? If they
Uh,
could tell you, hey, man, we got this project and it drops tomorrow, what file would you want to drop tomorrow?
Man, you can't ask me impossible questions like that, dude. You're gonna kill me. So right now, I'm gonna give you my top five that I have parts for and I'm excited to build. I just haven't been able to put together. So first and foremost, I want to build Sheridan's Tommy gun. Ever since he put out just like the soft renderings of it and talked about it, I was like, yeah, I need a freaking Tommy gun. Like, let's make this happen. And while I was waiting to build a Tommy gun, OA was working on his 22 long rifle 1911 conversion. And I'm like, okay, if I'm gonna LARP like Tom Hanks from Saving Private Ryan, I gotta get myself a 1911. And holy shit, here's a printed one. This is dope. And
Yeah,
then they started doing the AUG, right? So the AUG comes out. They're hyping that like crazy. That's a Grail gun of mine. I've always thought that those things are super sexy, and I desperately wanted one. And I have the kit. I just haven't put in the legwork to really start making that happen. And then you've got other incredible stuff that's starting to come out too, like I believe it's Broken Bullets is working on the Sarajevo or something like that. It takes a CZ Scorpion
yeah,
bolt, AR fire control group, Glock barrel, and the aesthetics of that thing are just like primo incredible, right? And then there's my own projects that I'm also like super stoked about because I mean I made them, so that one's kind of
they're
tough
your
to say
babies.
like, oh yeah, my own or my favorite. But no, like I the launcher boys have put out so much incredible stuff, and I was like, I kind of want to do a launcher thing. What else is out there that no one's done yet? I was looking at it, I was like, let's just like screw around and see if we can find something. And then that came together, and I cannot wait to make that thing happen.
Bro.
I had the chance to work with IPS on getting his built,
Yeah,
and like seeing that thing like put together after a day of hanging out with one of the dopest dudes. If that doesn't make you stoked about a project, nothing will. So
yeah, bro.
uh,
You guys gotta be careful with IPS. When IPS is quiet, when IPS is not posting on social media, you guys better do the same and work your ass off because he's working harder. That's
Yep,
all I gotta say. Um,
that's it's all true, man.
yeah, man. Oh, you know which one I'm kind of interested to print? or to mess around with. It's the one Danny Meatballs is doing, the small launcher.
You talking about the hand cannon?
Yeah, bro, but I don't know how that you how do you think that's gonna go on somebody's hand? Like, you think it's gonna like have some oomph?
So um, before the Michigan meetup, a couple of the guys who came in early, we all got together. We stayed at a little place on Lake Huron. We had like a little lake house retreat before the main event started, and we did some launchers over the lake and just like shot them into the lake. And Coast Guard didn't arrest us, which was sick. And then the other part of it was the hand cannon was there. Danny, he went up like full safety squints. He even put his hand in front of his face like a little bit for safety, which was like that's pretty above and beyond. And he shot it, and the recoil looked like it was about as significant as a 9 mil, but I think that there are some design tweaks that he's got planned for it that are going to make it even better. So I think that people should be really excited about that, but there's going to be a lot of testing that goes into that thing before it's released to the public.
Yeah, bro, we don't want having no type of issues, right? Um, especially it's damn, you can't hear that, right? Or yeah.
There's
Like,
like a little bit of static, but you're good.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. Yeah, man. So like it's bugging me now. Sorry. So yeah, I can't wait for that thing, bro. I mean, we don't want it to be like another, you mess with it and your hand goes away. Let's just say that. But I mean, Danny Meatballs is a great designer, bro. Like, they don't call him the magician for nothing. So I know he'll get it done. You know what I mean?
Oh, big time, dude. Danny, if you ever get the chance to meet him in person, he is one of the most genuine, he is one of the most talented, handsome, brilliant individuals that I have ever interacted with. Absolutely love the dude. And I just want to further that shout out to Danny Meatball really quickly. And I'd like everyone to go to his Instagram and go to the post that he just did. So he just showed off his newest launcher, the balls, and then the 26.5 millimeter version, which he's calling the smalls. If you go down in the comments, you're going to see a comment that I put that was a petition to change it to so the 37 millimeter will be the balls, and then the like 26.5 millimeter will be the balls because one's in caps and one's in lowercase, right? Go like that post so he has to change the name of his build. It's going to be sweet.
Okay, which one is it?
First post, yeah, right there. We're at like 60 something likes, I think. It should be
Oh,
the first one up there. What are we at? 60,
yeah, this
63.
let me
We got
see.
less than 40 to go. Danny, you're going to have to change that shit.
Okay, so what do we need to do? We need to
You
like
just
it.
gotta like it. Just like the comment. Yeah.
Damn, there we go. So everybody, go
He's gonna
and do the
kill.
same. Sorry, Danny, bro. Like, your homie, it's your homie's fault. We're blaming it on SwarmTech if it happens. Nah, but I'm.
I'll take that.
All right. So I have a question for you, bro. I
Yeah.
know you had a good time in the meetup, right? But out of everybody you met at the meetup, who was somebody that you met and you didn't expect them to be the way they were? Like, you had a whole, like, you didn't think they were gonna be that wild and crazy, but they were.
hmm Um, boy, that's a tough question too. Honestly, I think that shout out has to go to Mathematics. So Mathematics is he is one of the launcher gods that does not get enough credit because he is doing some. He has been one of the most consistent testers out there. He's been working on his high-low design, which is basically using smokeless powder instead of black powder for a lifting charge, which is way cleaner burning. And Destiny, it looks like you're saying, what's the IG name? I
Yeah.
believe IG name is Dick underscore
Uh,
himself,
No, no,
something like
it's
that.
it's at Danny dot meatballs.
Oh, sorry, I didn't know. Oh, yeah. I was talking about mathematics, but for sure.
Oh,
Add data calls for sure. Also,
yeah.
100%. I think that he was one of the people that really surprised me. So in my role in Are We Cool Yet for the longest time was just I just frequented the meme room because I
Mhm.
like the funnies. And there's this running joke that started up that Mathematics was secretly a furry, and he just like leaned into it, and I
Yeah.
totally expected him to show up in like a fursuit or something like that, and he didn't. But he was just one of the dopest dudes. Loved meeting him. It was incredible. There,
bro. It's
that's
crazy.
such a hard question because every single person who was there was just fantastic. I
Yeah,
can't
yeah,
say enough good.
man, man, that sounds so much fun, bro. Okay, and then I have a question for you, bro. What does your family think about you doing everything you're doing now? Like, how do your parents, your brothers, your close friends look at you because of what you do?
Yeah, for sure. So my dad is all about it. He thinks it's sweet, but he thinks I need to stop doing anything that I like show to the public, and he doesn't have any idea that I do out of battery or anything like that. So I'm just gonna not say anything about that, and that's we're
Yeah,
gonna keep it that way. Keep that between us. My mom thinks it's like, okay, cool. You wish it was like a little more normal, but fine. My brother definitely looks down on it because he's kind of like, you're fucking retarded, dude. Like, why are you doing this? He doesn't understand. Um, and then most of my friends like think it's pretty cool, but they aren't really gun guys, so they haven't like taken the initiative to get into it themselves. So this is kind of just like a journey that I'm on, and all of my other friends are in it with me. So it's a blast.
yeah, yeah, for sure, man. Okay, so let's. You say your brother kind of doesn't like it. He thinks it's dumb, right? Why do you think he thinks that? Like, was there is there a does he think it's like the legal issues, or he just thinks you're spend wasting your time? Why do you think your brother thinks that, bro?
Little column A, little column B, little column C. So he's in a profession where he's not allowed to actually have an opinion about anything, or there's like a great chance he'll get fired. So anything that is a polarizing topic, he stays the hell away from, and he knows that I am not willing to do that about this. This is something that I am passionate about. This is something that I want to bring to as many people in this world as humanly possible, and that is kind of diametrically opposed to his modus operandi for the last 8 years. So I understand why he feels that way. And then the other part of it too is like he just had his first daughter, so that she's the only grandbaby my parents have, right? And he's trying to make her not be into things like this. And I'm going to corrupt her and get her a 1022 for her ninth birthday anyway.
Yeah,
But
yo, what's it called?
not
My sisters. Okay, so one of my sisters does the same thing, right? She doesn't like what I do and stuff like that. So she'll be sending my mom like certain things about kids getting into the locker, this and that, and I'm like, well, that's perfect. I don't have a locker, so we don't have to worry about the kids getting into the locker, right? And then
yep.
I think finally my mom told her, well, like, hopefully your husband also hides his gun away right correctly so the kids don't find it, because my brother-in-law has one too. And
Mhm.
then my sister just stopped replying, but I think people think that with kids around, it's gonna be like, oh my god, we're gonna have an accident or stuff like that. The only way we're gonna have an accident is if we don't teach those kids what it is. If we don't explain to the kid, like, hey, you don't play around with this when it's here. If you see it, call me. Don't really touch it, but at the same time, show them how to touch it, right? Without being loaded. Show them the safety. Show them certain things once they get of age. Because what happens is that the kid gets curious. You leave your gun there. The kid sees it. They're gonna go for it because it's always been. It's just like when they ban alcohol, when they ban certain type of drugs. The more they ban it, the more people are gonna want it, right?
Yep.
I guess it's normal. Do you think that you were always like the outgoing kid, like the kid that would try new different things? Like you were kind of like the black sheep of the family, let's say?
Oh, big time. Yeah, always have been, and I'm fine with that. Yeah, nothing wrong with that. Yeah, I sought it out because I wanted to live out my fantasies of being a Marine, and from there, I wanted to keep doing it. It was fun.
Okay, bro. So I got a question.
Yeah.
Did you ever now that I know that you were kind of like the black sheep of the family and you try new things left and right, did you ever think that you would be doing what you're doing at this moment?
No. I didn't. I figured that I would get involved somehow, but never to the degree that I am currently involved at. When I first started out, I was 100% about like, okay, we need to do the anonymity thing.
Yeah.
We need to all that kind of stuff. I don't think I had my face in public on a video for the first like year and a half of it, and then after a while, it's just kind of like, fuck it, I'm gonna die anyway. Like, let's do it. You know.
Okay. So let's talk about that. So I did the same thing when I started. I was always wearing a mask. I wasn't showing my face on my post. Finally, till I went on Crump show, that's when I actually showed my face. Why do you what? Why do you think that a lot? Like, what was your reason? Let's put it that way. What was your reason on trying to be anonymous?
Yeah. I I have a I would say healthy distrust of all agents of the state. I do not believe that they have the people's best interest in mind and will do their best to make the lives of citizens as uncomfortable as possible if those people are doing things the state doesn't like. So I know that the state does not like what I do, and so I figured I'm just going to not be an easy target for them, right? That was pretty much the attitude that I had going into it. And now at this point, I'm realizing that yeah, you can 100% do the anonymity thing. There's nothing wrong with that, and you really shouldn't look down on somebody who, if that's the point that they're at in their journey, that's totally fine. But my mindset at this point now is, we need to make them realize that there's more of us than there are of them. Uh, we need to bring as many people into this as we can.
Nah, for reals, bro. I totally agree with what you're saying right now. I think what we need to do is we need to show them that we're regular people. We need to show them that we have families just like you. You do your thing, and then your wife is taking a part of the community, but in her own way. And that's creating a better communication between both of you guys. But at the same time, it's making you guys happy. And I think that's a big thing that a lot of us don't take into consideration is that are we truly happy? Right? Certain things we do they make us truly happy? Sometimes they don't. Sometimes they're just filling a void. But what we're doing in this community, I'm telling you from my heart, it makes me happy. You could tell it makes this man happy by just looking at his damn smile. Like, to be honest, it makes us happy. It makes us deal with life once we got to clock out, once we got to come home and deal with not be having enough for the rent or stressing about marital problems. It makes it a safe space for us to go, and that's
Mhm.
what we need to show people, that this is normal. We're not being criminals. We're not making money off of this. We're not selling auto sears allegedly. No, we're not. We're
Yeah.
not. But you
Of
know what I
course not.
mean, bro. um and one last question I have for you, and then I'll ask people if they want to ask you questions,
Yeah.
is if you could make something, like they would tell you, hey man, you have one wish, and that wish you could use it to like change the laws or make the community better, how would you use that one wish?
Um, am I allowed to wish that Woodrow Wilson never existed? No, I'm just kidding. No, I think if hmm, that's a great question. If you want to take it to the law aspect, I think that see, I would say something to the effect of we should have made the Second Amendment more explicit. But how more explicit can you be than shall not be infringed? That
Facts.
is quite literally that is a what, a 7 word easy sentence. That's you can't clear that up anymore. I think what I would do is legislatively, I would completely remove the teeth of the United States government to take taxes from its people. The ATF it was originally a branch of the IRS, right? Um, the vast majority of like pay for policing kind of schemes with traffic tickets and stuff like that is about revenue collection from them because they're not getting what they need from taxes. People losing homes and not truly owning their homes because of taxes. All of this comes back to a price that we are allegedly paying to live in a society, but we don't have the choice to opt out of it. So No, we're getting into some libertarian theory here.
Yeah,
I'm going to take it to the short
we're
answer.
getting deep.
Abolish the IRS. How about that?
And you know what, bro? What you said makes sense because you guys could tell when the cops don't meet their quota, you're gonna see them on one stop, on the other stop, on the other corner, on the other street. They're gonna be everywhere. But once their quota is met, they're hiding behind a damn dark place. They're hiding behind a damn wherever they could hide. That's where they're hiding. They're not coming to no rescue. You don't see them. They're not writing tickets. So I understand what you're saying, bro. And I think what you said about the IRS is amazing. Um, Now, for anybody that wants to ask SwarmTech any type of questions, go ahead and ask them. People are saying that you have Fiverr God said that you have her boat, Mr. President, 2024,
That could work.
twenty
Sure.
twenty
And
four.
I'd also like to just
20
clarify that all of my statements related to the United States government and or the state are jokes for legal purposes.
facts. And if you don't believe that, make sure you guys go read the description of my channel, and it says right there that I am satire, comedy, and jokes. For reals, bro.
Hell
You
yeah,
know
dude.
you know why? Because this show is like that. Like, not everything that we talk about is serious. We're joking. This is improv.
All jokes.
Yes.
100%. This is a comedy routine. I'm actually really boring and normal.
Oh, somebody. I'm not even gonna read that, bro.
Uh-oh.
You guys are messed up.
Ooh. Okay, now I want to know. What did they say?
And I use Nair. You know Nair?
Yeah, oh, I used to have to use that on mice when I worked in a research lab. Let me
What?
tell you,
Okay,
having
let's
to
talk about that.
Oh, yeah. So my degree's in microbiology, right? So I worked with microbial genetics. More specifically, I was working with genetic knockouts of MRSA meth resistant or methicillin resistant Staph aureus, right? And so one of the things that we were doing is we were taking a component of this bacterial genome, we were knocking it out, and we were seeing how virulent is this bacteria when you inject it into a mouse model because we wanted to find an epigenetic drug target. Well, somebody has to go through and actually work with the mice and inject the mice. You have to measure the lesion that develops. You have to take note of symptoms, all that kind of stuff. So the only way to do that and to get an accurate measurement on a lesion on something that naturally has fur is to remove the fur. And it would take a really long time to shave all those mice. So you
Yeah,
just have to use Nair. That shit is nasty. Like
bro.
even through proper like BSL-3 PPE, you can smell it. I don't like that shit.
Yeah. Okay. So I would tell you guys a story, but I don't think it's appropriate. I mean, it's not bad, but it's his. We're interviewing him, so I'll probably do it another time. But Mr. Snow says, "Where did SwarmTech acquire such a taste in whiskey?"
That's a really great question. Honestly, my growing up, my dad was his whole shtick is like nice liquor, right? So right now he's on really nice tequilas, and I'm trying to get him into mezcal, but he's not into it quite yet. But before he got into nice tequilas, he was into really nice whiskeys, and he had presented me with a couple that for the longest time I thought Basil Hayden was amazing. And then I got like a big boy job. I had my own house. I was living on my own and I was going to the liquor store, and I'm like, there's no reason for me to be buying the same bottle every week. And so or not every week, I was not drinking a fifth a week for the
Damn, bro, every week. That's normal. Are
for some people, for sure. It don't work
you
that well for me. But
Mexican?
no, I like the food though. Uh,
Oh,
no, and I kept trying different bottles whenever I could, and that was how I developed my taste. Um, at this point, I have a couple of favorites that I'll gravitate towards, and I do more cocktails than I do straight liquor if I'm hosting. But if I'm by myself and it's just my wife and I watching a movie or something, I will probably have like a nice little nip of mezcal.
okay. And then since you like to cook, bro,
Yeah.
that I was gonna ask you that. What's your favorite Mexican food to cook?
Favorite Mexican food to cook? Ooh. Ooh. Oh God. Okay. Honestly, chilaquiles all day.
Chilaquiles are danky, bro.
Yep.
Okay, So
Yep.
I always have Mr. I sending me funny stuff, and he sent me something about how could we explain to people what Mexican food is, and usually Mexican food is like either tortilla, cheese, burritos, tortilla, tacos, tortilla, right? But it's just the way that we make the food, and the spices we add to 'em, because chilaquiles you add a lot of different type of flavor. That's what
Yep.
people don't understand. Now a lot of people make their chilaquiles wet. Chilaquiles are not supposed to be wet. They're supposed to be kind of wet, but not too much. How do you
I
make yours? You make them wet, huh?
I do. I didn't know that.
Okay. So next
Do you
time you,
have? Can you send me a recipe?
yeah, I'll send you my mom's recipe, bro.
Hell yeah,
I'll
dude.
hit you up. But yeah, they're supposed to be kind of wet, but not super soggy. So you
Yeah.
gotta get a little bit of crunch on them still.
Oh
But I
yeah.
mean,
You got to
that's
have the texture.
yeah, yeah. Okay, and then so I guess Richard Stevens said that he also had a degree in a bachelor's, I believe. I don't know
Hmm.
if you read that. And then the
Yeah.
last answer for that question that I'm gonna ask you, bro,
Yeah.
is if you were not 3D printing or being part of the 2A community at this moment, what would you probably be doing in life?
I honestly probably would have gotten back into rock climbing. So I, how far back do I want to dive into this rabbit hole? I had to go to cancer camp. Not had to. I got to go to cancer camp. I did like a 1 week retreat out in Washington for people who had cancer when they were younger. And I met a bunch of really amazing people. And we just spent the entire week just a little outside of the Yakima Valley doing rock climbing in Leavenworth, Washington. And it was incredible. Absolutely fell in love with it. I went from there to climbing in the gym at least like 4 to 5 times a week. I got outside whenever I could. Michigan sucks for climbing. There is literally one place in the Lower Peninsula that's even kind of worth going to, and it's sandstone, so people have eroded the shit out of it. But I've gone and climbed at like the Red in Kentucky. I've gone and climbed a couple of little like no name Kings Bluff in Tennessee, which isn't really like a bluff. It's some like little 5'9" shit. But it I absolutely loved climbing. And then COVID happened. All of the climbing gyms shut down, and the one by me went like super, super hardcore. Like you had to sign up 2 weeks in advance. You could only reserve one route. You could only climb that one route for like 2 hours, and then
And
you
don't
had to sanitize the holds on the way down. And it was
what?
like there's no reason for any of this. This is absolutely silly. So I just stopped climbing for like a year and a half, 2 years. Gained a bunch of COVID weight, and now it's a lot harder to pull my fat ass up a wall. So
Yeah, bro.
if it hadn't been for GunCat, I might have, I'd probably still be climbing.
I think COVID kind of like messed with a lot of our diets, but at the same time we're here. We got into guncat and 3D printing because of COVID. But yeah, bro, COVID, people were doing some ridiculous stuff. Like there was some people I knew, bro. They were driving their car by themselves, nobody in the car, with two masks on. Like,
Yep.
how could you breathe, bro? And then I knew this girl, bro, and she would always wear two masks, like sometimes even three masks, bro, like all in once. And I was like, I remember because I hardly wore my mask, not because I was being reckless, but because I was staying home taking care of my father that had ALS. So when I would go out and I would put a mask on, bro, I would start kind of like hyperventilating, and I couldn't do it. You know what I mean? So now imagine if you're going to a gym, they're asking you to wear a mask and then you're working out. Like, you can't do that, bro. I mean, I don't.
It's not fun. It's not as fun as it should be. And uh, we don't have to get too into the COVID stuff. We could talk about that for quite a while.
Yeah. Okay, so somebody's saying that they're still doing that in South Alabama, and then somebody's
Seriously?
asking about the hotel. Yeah, I
Like
mean,
Mobile? Like how far South Alabama? That's jeez. That's
yeah,
that kind of blows my mind. Um
bro,
it may be what's that?
people are still doing the COVID stuff with the mask, bro. Like, I don't know why. Okay, so somebody said that if you were in a hotel room, yes, he's in a hotel room
Yes.
because
This is
he
not
just
what my house looks like.
yeah. I was gonna say some dumb shit. No, go ahead. Tell him why you're in a hotel room, bro.
Oh, it's not like it's sexy or anything. I'm traveling for work right now. I am in beautiful Williston, North Dakota, which let me tell you, It's honestly actually beautiful out here.
Real?
I love the West. Yeah, I went to school out in Montana, and if I could leave the Midwest forever and just live in the middle of nowhere in Montana, I would 100% do that. It's beautiful out here.
All right, man. And then another thing, what is your favorite printer at the moment?
Favorite printer at the moment. So I did I started with the Enders, right? I got a couple of Enders. Then right about the time that we started out of battery, Bitplum convinced me to get a Prusa, and then my favorite was the Prusa. And then some unfortunate, uh, some unfortunate miscalibrated prints that very deeply embarrassed me. Really gave me the push that I needed to jump into the Voron community. So I've actually got a Voron waiting at the FedEx close to my house, and I'm going to be picking that up when my flight gets home tomorrow. So I'm hoping that my next favorite printer is going to be a Voron.
Damn, bro. So how many printers do you have at this moment currently?
When I pick that one up, I'll have four. I'm going to be selling my Enders for sure because they I don't need them if I have a Voron and a
Nah,
Prusa.
you don't.
So
Yeah, at all, bro. Okay, man. And then the last question, I promise. I promise.
you're good, man. I'll hang out with you all night.
uh, when are you having a baby, bro?
So I don't know if I can have a baby. Chemo really fucks with your ability to have kids. I'm
Yeah.
like probably sterile. I don't know.
Fuck. Okay, so wait. Let's talk. You had cancer, bro?
Yeah. Yep. I had stage four Hodgkin's when I was in college, and I was really pissed off because I was going to graduate in 3 years, but then I had to take some time off to go do chemo. So I still did it in four, but I was like not stoked about that. But no, honestly, it was a great experience. I had a lot of fun. I was kind of an asshole before it. I feel like the chemo burned out all the shitty parts of me and only left like the good parts. And I now have an outlook that's kind of like
Yes,
if if something's like bad in my life, the way that I look at it is, will this literally kill me? And if the answer is yes, then it's bad. And if it will not literally kill me, it's not that bad.
that now I
Easy
understand
peasy.
why your attitude is the way it is, bro, because you went through some shit. Like you had death knocking at your door. Like I'm pretty sure you didn't know. I mean, how was it getting diagnosed, bro? Like did you know? Did you feel anything? Like
Yeah,
is it cool if you talk about that? I'm
yeah,
not.
no, I don't care. We don't. If you want to talk about it, I will. I have no problem with that. It's totally up to you.
No, it's up to you, bro. Like it's your personal stuff. So I don't if you want to share, you could share, bro. If not,
Yeah,
it's
no, for sure. So, I was a little bit of shithead in college. I definitely drank too much and maybe did other stuff that I probably shouldn't have, allegedly. And there was Christmas one year where it kind of all came to a head, and I was like, okay, I need to stop doing this. I stopped doing it. I stopped drinking, doing all the other stuff I shouldn't have done. I was like exercising really consistently, and I lost like a bunch of weight, and I was stoked, dude. It was like the lightest that I had ever been. Like I was starting to get like a six pack. I was like looking good, right? I thought like this is it. This is cool. And at the same time, like I started getting real sweaty at night, and I was like, ah, whatever. It's because I'm working out a lot. It's not a big deal. And then I went to my doctor one day, and I was getting some like blood work done. And she's like, "Hey, how have you been?" And I just like kind of offhandedly mentioned, "Yeah, I'm kind of sweaty at night." And she ran some blood work, and I told her like, "Hey, you can just like, you can mail that the results to me or call me or something like that. I've got a chemistry test I got to go to today." And I got a call like an hour after I left the blood work appointment, and she's like, "Hey, so this is gonna like sound kind of scary. Don't let it freak you out, but like you need to skip that chemistry test and come back to the hospital." And I was like, "Oh, okay, that's that's not ideal." But when did that, and she's like, "So you got the big K, cancer." No, I did like a biopsy and stuff like that, and they're like, "Yeah, no, you totally have cancer." Moved back home for a while, did the whole chemo thing, and then went back to school. It was kind of not a big deal. It was a big deal, but like also not that big of a deal. Like there are other people who struggled way more than I did, who had a way harder time than I did. I was young. I was like 19 when it happened. I had Hodgkin's. So Hodgkin's lymphoma is one of those that if you get that, like you're super lucky.
Yeah.
Even though I had stage 4, you got like a 50-50 shot of living, which it's stage 4 for
Holy
cancer.
shit.
That's unreal. So I lucked out. I had a great time. A lot of hot Canadian nurses who were just absolute sweethearts. I got to skip any like social event I didn't feel like going to because I could just be like, "Oh, I'm tired." And I worked like a shitload of hours manual labor that summer. I went to a bunch of like festivals and raves, and they're like, "You have a white count of 0.01. You shouldn't go out in public." And I'm like, "Ah, fuck you. I'm gonna go do drugs at a rave,
Okay.
allegedly."
Okay,
Uh,
so let me ask you a question, bro. Do you believe that one of the things that probably helped you with dealing through that experience was that at the same time you were young, so you said you were working out before all of that, right? So
I
you were young, you were kind of in shape, and then you started going out and having fun and not trying to think all the time about your position? Or what do you think what do you think kind of like helped you get through it? Because I know you're joking right now and stuff like that, but a lot of people can't handle certain situations, especially with the chemo, right? Because I've met people that have had chemo, and they start chemo, they're good for a couple of weeks, and then like on the third week, I go see them, and they're like, "That's not you, bro." You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, so definitely a combination of being young. I was kind of healthy, and then when I started chemo, I stopped working out. Um, I think the biggest part of it is mom ain't raised no bitch. I didn't want to. I don't want to like let anything like that keep me down. There's really, if you're gonna die, you're gonna die. So just have fun while you're doing it. That was pretty much my entire outlook the whole time.
Yeah, man. I think people don't realize that when your time is chosen, your time is chosen. And there's a saying that says, "To God we belong, and to God we will return." If you're spiritual, say it whatever way you want to say it, but at the end of the day, we all when it's our time, it's our time. And I think we need to stop being afraid of death. I was talking to somebody earlier, right? Not earlier today, but earlier this week, and we were talking about age, right? And we were talking about how in the US they look at getting older as a bad thing. You see, as soon as grandma gets old, they throw her in a home. As soon as grandpa gets old, oh, he's crazy. He's a burden. And they do look at this because I've seen it with my eyes, bro. Right? My ex-wife used to be like in charge of one of those places. She wasn't a CNN. She was actually the one in charge of getting CNNs, and she would have to go and talk to the clients and stuff like that. And you could see that sometimes there was people at these homes that would get ready, put on makeup every week, and say, "Oh, I'm waiting for my kids," and the kids would never show up, bro. So in the US, we're the only ones that look at as aging as a burden, when in reality we should look at these older people as somebody that has lived before us and more experience, and you made it to this certain age. To be honest, me growing up, bro, in the situation I grew up, in the environment I grew up, I never thought I would make it till how old I am right now in my 30s, right? I thought by 20 something I probably would have been dead because a lot of my friends were like that. So I think we just need to start looking at life and realize that age happens, and the older we get, the more blessed we are to wake up that day, right? But I mean, I don't know. How did how the how did you take it when you found out that you didn't need any more chemo, bro? Like, did they tell you like, "Hey, your thing is rising," or how do they do it?
Yeah, so it depends on what kind of cancer you have. So typically for lymphomas or like widely disseminated cancers, they're going to want to do something like a PET scan. So a PET scan is when they take glucose, they radio label it, and then they inject it and allow it to circulate in your bloodstream, so they can find where the tissues are that are uptaking the most glucose at that time. There's a noted effect of cancer cells that they eat glucose faster than other tissues. It's called the Warburg effect. and that's how they pinpoint where your actual cancer is, right? And so they'll do an initial baseline before you start chemo. You'll have a couple scans throughout, and then you'll have a scan at the very end of it, or whenever your chemo is over, and they'll try to tell you, okay, yeah, you need to do more, like no, they're shrinking, or there's no growth, or however they want to decide it. For me, I like the actual remission diagnosis. I celebrated my eighth anniversary of the remission diagnosis last Friday. And yeah, thank you. The the actual like remission diagnosis wasn't a big deal at all for me because I knew about 3 months into it, I literally woke up one morning and I was like, oh, I'm not gonna die. And that was it. And I knew that I was gonna be fine. Because before that I was like, I kind of might die. Uh, and then I woke up that morning and then I knew that I wasn't. And then it was like, okay, I'm good.
Yeah, bro. I understand now where your outlook comes from. Like you're always smiling, bro. You bring this energy into the room, even though we're not close to each other. You're always laughing. You're taking, I remember the day that I booked you and I booked uh, Knuckles, I believe, from 1776. So I double booked, and I feel so bad, bro. Like to be honest, because I had never done that, right? And I'm like, man, you're cool. We've been talking. Like I wanted to get you on the show, and you're like, man, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. And I'm like, nah, man, I'm gonna shout you out. I even shout you out in that episode, everything, bro. Um, and now I understand why you were like so like nonchalant because the stuff you've been through, and a lot of the times people don't realize that what we've been through, we shouldn't look at it as like why me, God, like why me? Nah, bro. Who are we to question God? We're nobody to question God. We should be thankful that God picked us to go through and suffer through this because this is going to make us better people. This is going to make us relate. You've gone through this. You're able to relate with more people now. And we need to sometimes stop being so egotistic and narcissist and say why me, bro, like don't worry, it happened to you for a reason, right? um so I mean, I remember when that happened, bro, you were so like nah, but to finish this story is that if that wouldn't have happened, if I wouldn't have doubled booked, I would have probably double booked again because after that time that I double booked, I felt bad, bro.
Oh, oh, there he goes. How y'all doing? How's it going? Yeah, you, you especially. I see you out there. You're looking good tonight. Did you put that on just for us? Oh my gosh. Wow. That was pretty special. Oh dear. Double booked himself on that one, right?
Yeah, no, bro. You know what I noticed is every time we're talking about real stuff, they cut my shit, bro. It's that stupid FBI. Get off my shit. Let me talk. Let me do my thing. Let me preach.
Dude, they wanted to come on and say a couple of words. You just gotta
Yeah,
let them.
right. So I double booked, but after that double booking, bro, now you help me actually get my stuff in order. So now everything I go as soon as I book a show with a person, I go write it down in the calendar and I get it set. IPS knows that because me and IPS worked together for a bit, and he knew how sometimes I would do stuff at last minute. Now my bookings are as soon as I tell you, bro, I book it. So yeah, man, I appreciate you for that. I think I'm a true believer that everything happens for a reason. I'm glad you were in the show, bro. I'm glad that you spoke about everything because this is what I wanted to do. I wanted to have a space where you could come and be yourself and be open and be able to tell the world like, "Hey, I'm a regular dude. I'm no criminal. Like I just have fun and I love to cook and I beat cancer. So fuck cancer." And I appreciate you, bro. Thank you for coming.
Dude, man, I really appreciate you letting me come on. Glad to talk with you. Probably said more things than I should have, but it's been a blast. I'd do it
Nah,
again anytime.
I appreciate it, bro. It went quick, bro. We're like in an hour, 14 minutes. It was a great chat, bro. And like I said, you're always bringing that happiness, you know, that energy that is dope. So thank you for coming, bro. if you want to wait for a little bit in the background while I let everybody go.
I'll wait in the foreground. What's up, guys? Somebody said to rate the hotel. So my first criticism of the hotel is the fact that they only had one of those little like things of coffee that you can put in the hotel coffee maker. Oh, hey, what's up, man?
Bro, I'm telling you, they're taking me off. All right, guys. I'm just gonna say bye with him on here because I guess somebody doesn't want me online. I'm sorry, Mr. CIA. I am sorry. I will vote for Biden. I will vote for him.
Whether you like it or not.
Allegedly.
Allegedly, right? Yeah.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, thank you for having us. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Make sure you guys share. Next week, I'm gonna have a dope show. Um, it's about this. It's about this lady that she lost somebody to gun violence, and she's gonna come on the show and talk about her perspective. Was it the gun's fault? Was it not the gun's fault? How does she feel about guns at this moment? So make sure you guys tune in. I believe that's gonna be on Tuesday. I'll keep you guys informed on Instagram. Make sure you guys go check out Swarmtech stuff. Follow him. Also remember he's part of Out of Battery. They're around every what, Swarmtech?
Saturday 9, baby.
Every Saturday night. It's a dope show. They don't have disconnections like my show, but they have a
Sure
dope.
we do. Come on.
But thank you guys. Thank you for watching. Make sure you guys have a great day. And today's show is gonna end like this. Bye. Bye.